It is a beautiful evening. It is the 24th of December 2023. It is Christmas Eve, and a Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Leanne.
It is that time of the year where families gather together and cook their favorite meals.
Yes, that's
the
true.
roast turkeys, the potatoes.
Yes, and the famous
coleslaw. The famous coleslaw. It will not be Christmas without the coleslaw.
That's true.
We're live here at the Hill in Pockethill, Highlands, Harare, the capital city. I am Leanne Bernard. Susan Masona interpreting the bulletin in sign language.
I'm Mandipam Cheche with Sivakela Maposa joining us later on in the bulletin from our Montrose studios. Now in stories to expect in tonight's Sunday edition, travelers commend efficiency at the modernized Beitbridge border post.
In our This and That feature tonight, Matabeleland South Bureau Chief Providence Maranelli explores some weird road signage in Ulilima district.
In our Showbiz, minerals commodity exchange to facilitate real value of returns.
And much later in Sports Buzz, Shihang Samson Muripo leaves an illustrious legacy in karate. Those are our leading stories tonight, but first we begin with the main news.
In our first story, government has announced the deployment of dedicated tourism officers at all major points of entry as part of ongoing efforts to ensure every visitor feels welcome.
Groundbreaking initiative aims to elevate the visitor experience from the very first touchdown, painting a warm and welcoming portrait of Zimbabwean hospitality. Deputy Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Tongai Mnangagwa, told ZBC News in Victoria Falls this Sunday that the deployment of tourism officers is part of a broader strategy to revitalize the local tourism sector.
We're going to put tourism officers at every point of entry in the country. So this is not an event, but we did it this way, whereby we get to understand how it works. Now we're going to appoint officers, tourism facilitation officers. We're going to be stationed there and make sure there's smooth flow of tourists into the country, even when they're leaving as well.
Zimbabweans were encouraged to visit tourist attraction sites across the country.
We need Zimbabweans to go around visiting these places. That will help our economy to turn. That will help and put money in the pockets of the operators, the people who run lodges, hotels. As we're waiting for the international visitors, let the locals turn the economy by spending.
The deployment of tourism officers is part of government's broader tourism revival strategy. The country, renowned for its stunning landscapes, diverse wildlife and vibrant culture, is seeking to reclaim its place as a premier African safari destination. Experts believe this initiative, along with infrastructure upgrades and targeted marketing campaigns, is set to make Zimbabwe an irresistible proposition for travelers worldwide. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
More than 400 kilometers of the road network in Manicaland province has been rehabilitated under various government programs, including the post-cyclone NI recovery and resilience program. Our reporter John Andara has more.
Government and other implementing partners have made huge strides in giving a facelift to road infrastructure in Manicaland province, most of which was destroyed by the Cyclone Idai disaster in 2019. Some of the key projects include construction of the Nyaodi No. 4 bridge and the 17-kilometer Machongwe-Rusitu road, which connects Chimanimani and Rusitu.
This bridge is specifically designed to withhold seismic actions that are going to be taking place should any other cyclone come. So in terms of the impact that you're going to find, you find this bridge connects Chimanimani and Rusitu, also gives you access to essential services that are just up the road, like the Rusitu Mission Hospital. The road that was constructed by Masimba Holdings, we were upgrading from the existing gravel road to a fully surfaced road that is using the chip and spray and tack and seal methods. And then that's the same surfacing that we have for the bridge as well.
Construction of the bridge and roads in the province has come as a relief to motorists and farmers in Chimanimani and Chipinge districts who mainly depend on trading horticulture products.
Isu panyaya yemugwagwa isitiri kutofara zvakanyanya vachairi vemotokari nekuti nzvimbo ine yainetsa kufamba. Road yakanga ine dust yainotsvedza nekuda kwemvura kana ichinaya mvura.
Pakagadzirwa kubva uri Rusitu Mission kusvika kwaMachongwe zvakutibatsira especially kubvisa varwere kuendesa kwaMutambara zvakutiitira nyore zvachipa uye michero yedu zvakukwanisa kuendeswa kumaketi zviri chipa.
Kumisheni wakagadzirwa kwatonaka maningi kwakuhambika.
Mota dzakuwanda, mabhazi, marori anouya achitwara zvinhu zvatinenge tichirima kuno.
Provincial Roads Engineer for Manicaland, Engineer Kudzai Maganga, gave a scope of other completed and ongoing road construction projects in the province.
We've managed to recover quite a lot of infrastructure through the Zimbabwe recovery program. I can confirm that Ngozi skyline was constructed by Jara Goddard, skyline Chimanimani by Masimba, Chacha to Machongwe, Bitumen Road, then Kopa Jopa, Bitumen Road, Machongwe Rusi to Nyabamba, it was Bitumen Road, then Kopa Mchango, Exodus, then Kopa Vimba, Kuchi, Kroai Simba, Mchadzi, Bitcoin, Wonde Valley, it was Fossil Mines, Marangesh Piripiri, Masimba, Bechnaf to Chipinge, it was Fossil, Skyline Waterfalls, it was Masimba. I want to confirm that these were wholly funded by the government of Zimbabwe.
The 2019 Cyclone Idai disaster left a trail of destruction in Manicaland province, where road infrastructure including bridges were destroyed, with Chimanimani and Chipinge being the most affected districts. John Nandara, ZBC News, Chimanimani.
Last-minute shopping characterized Christmas Eve in Bulawayo this Sunday, as people could be seen taking home 1 or 2 items to make the day memorable for their families.
In Bulawayo, the streets were teeming with activity as people engaged in last-minute Christmas shopping, travels to the rural areas, while saloons were dominated by men and women who were beautifying themselves in readiness for the festive season. Business people expressed excitement with the hype in the city as it boosted their operations.
Even from outside the country, people waiting for Christmas. I think we'll be sharp in terms of business.
Javulela nje ukuthi ngoba kungikhisimusi siyahlangana sengumndeni kube mnandi.
Abantu banengi kakhulu ukuthi ngabasa ngaphansi kwazi mina. Lo nyaka yaze yasibulala imali bakithi. Abantu bazithengela ukudla kwabo kunengi nje obukhangele khona la. So sijabule kunye kumangalisayo. Sithi ke lathi ke seyothumlilo sibase.
Noma nje umnyaka ubungani unzima lapha lapha but hayi sijabulile ukuthi siya kukhisimusi.
Meanwhile, Bulawayo Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Judith Ngube, has implored the people in the province to be cautious on the roads.
Ngicela njalo laba abahamba ngamabhasi. Ngifisa ukuthi singama-passengers nje ebhasini singajojozeli umshayeli. Alubani umshayeli esedrive esegijima kakhulu epolice ibhasi. Ngicela likhulumisane lo mshayeli, umntanenu, umfowenu, ulithwele ukuthi lifikisa liphila ngemakhaya. Umkhuzeni ngaleli khefu lekhisimusi lenyu ngifisa ukuthi bakithi kungabi ngitsho lengozi eyodwa.
It has become a traditional drill for Zimbabweans to engage in last-minute shopping on the eve of Christmas. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo. Now, travelers and tourists have praised the modernized Beitbridge border post as an epitome of efficiency, with the busiest port of entry now clearing more than 20,000 people per day.
In this modern world, a visit or any adventure to any scenic or tourist place would not be considered as such without some snapshots and selfies. And in that world, people are enticed by what they see and how they are welcomed. A sight of travelers jostling to take pictures with words engraved "Welcome to Zimbabwe" in the background spells the excitement and enthusiasm by people crossing into Zimbabwe for the festive season. The efficiency and the architectural designs at the newly modernized border has put the icing on the traveler's cake.
Thank you so much. Thank you. There's a border beside.
Pakanaka sakata tichitora mapicture pakanaka zvisingaiti pari kuyevedza. Yeah, kuhle, it's beautiful. We're loving it.
Kuhle kakhulu.
Sithatha izithombe ngoba indawo yethu lathi siyabona ukuthi indawo yethu sekuyindawo enhle ukuthi noma sisuke ezweni leli sikulo sisiza la siba ne happiness ukuthi lathi siyakithi lathi siyebonisa abanye abantu ukuthi lapho esiphuma khona kunjani.
Ndaseviwa zvakanaka kunyika yedu anambotora kana 2 minutes kutinda passport ya.
The modernized Beitbridge border post is now clearing at least 24,000 travelers per day since the start of the festive season, with cargo also increasing from the normal 500 to around 900 per day.
We are handling 5 times more than what we would handle in a day. But we prepared, we have additional staff, and even the other colleagues who should have been off duty at this particular moment in time are all at work.
On the 22nd alone, we cleared 24,000 travelers. So you see the numbers are really surged during this period, but because of the modernization, we are not seeing the numbers.
Efficiency is our key goal. We want to turn wheels as fast as possible. We want to facilitate people as fast as possible. That's the only way we are going to be able to make Beitbridge border posts the most efficient and the better run port in sub-Saharan Africa.
Tourism and Hospitality Industry Minister Honorable Barbara Ngozi, who was in Beitbridge this Sunday to welcome travelers and visitors into Zimbabwe, reiterated government's stance on efficiency to promote domestic tourism.
This infrastructure has brought good transition, smooth transition, and seamless. People are happy. We are here hosting them as the hospitality industry, giving them water. The minimum that we can give is water and words of comfort that things will be fine, and helping each other with our stakeholders, the other immigration, ZIMRA, the process is to be smooth. We want people to get to their homes before the Christmas day. That's our objective.
The Second Republic is on a massive drive to transform the tourism sector, with the tourism ministry coming up with various campaigns such as Zimbo, Uripi, Ungapi, and Meet Me in Zimbabwe, among others, to promote domestic tourism. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Beitbridge.
The private sector has been implored to complement government efforts towards construction of schools to close the deficit countrywide.
Government, in partnership with a local construction company, Masimba Holdings, constructed a classroom block at Kwirire Primary School in Chimanimani, a development commended by the local community as key in promoting education in the area.
Vaibatana nemararia vechibva pano voguma kuti tasikira teinaiwa sati katadakarawo ndizvo ngekuti vakufundira pakachena nerodhi taanaro nemvura taanayo.
Zvinofadza block sazvo tisi takatoritanga foundation yaro, saka zvotifadza zvakaite Masimba yakatibatsira nehurumende yedu inotungamirirwa ndaMunangagwa todakadzwa nazvo.
Local leadership underscored on the importance of education infrastructure.
Rufara rwedu seana mambo kuti nzvimbo yedu inei apo takarohwa necyclone, mutungamiriri wenyika His Excellency Baba Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa vaiyoyo kune Chimanimani sevari kuuya vari kutenderera muHarare vaine hanya nesu.
Mufaro mukuru kunga tiri pano paKwirire Primary School tichiona ukama hwakaitwa pano neprivate sector ichishandira pamwe chete nehurumende yeZimbabwe. Chokwadi Masimba Construction yakatigonera ikaita basa kubva paSkyline kusvika Mungango vachigadzirisa mugwagwa wakanga watorwa necyclone Idai.
Tinoti isu tiri muministry tine yatinoti makey result areas maviri, one yacho inonzi access, yepiri inonzi quality. Kuzosvika paquality kunge access iripo.
Kuti ichi mutoone semucherechedzo zvinokwanisa kuitika panobatana hurumende, panobatana private sector nepanobatana community.
Commissioning the classroom block, Manicaland Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Advocate Misheki Mugadza, implored the private sector to invest in community infrastructural development.
Vakuti vakapowa mabasa ekushanda ipapa mamusingarovi maita basa nemazvo muchishanda zvinobatsira kuti makambani kana auya kunzvimbo dzenyu anoshanda nemi. Kune dzimwe nzvimbo dzinotozikamwa kunzi vana veko ukangovapa basa chete basa racho harifambi, havauyi kubasa, vanoenda kunomwa zvimwe zviya zvinodhaka vasingaende kubasa. Zvoreva kuti kana kambani ikapuhwa basa rekuita munzvimbo dzenyu vanoenda kunotsvaga vanoshanda kune dzimwe nzvimbo. izvo ndo zvatinenge tisingadi. Muchaona kuti panenge pakasarira tabatsirwa kana nevanenge vauya zvaita vana Masimba izvi devolution funds dzedu dzinenge dzichipindira through kamzuro yedu vachipedzisa basa racho zvinhu zvedu zvichiendeka.
Government has been channeling funds towards infrastructure rehabilitation in Chimanimani district after the 2019 Cyclone Idai disaster under the mantra Build Back Better and Restore Normalcy. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Chimanimani.
A health crisis is looming in Chitungwiza Zengeza Suburb 3, where raw effluent is flowing from homes, sending residents into panic mode amid fresh fears of waterborne disease outbreaks.
Every morning for the past year, residents of Manda Street in Zengeza 3 Chitungwiza have had to put up with raw sewer flowing from their homes, a situation which has resulted in an outbreak of diarrheal diseases.
Tini trouble ye maswage. Pari kuneta mvura ikangonaya chete. Anotanga kubuli. Nokuda kupinda mumba. Tinotongoita basa rokudini rokupa zvimanasi zvimagari zvitoileti.
Midimbutanzwa kana kuti tishaziva kuti ndo maswage here kana kuti tichitatataza kuzvinzwisisa hatina zororo. Pandiri pana handikwanisi kufamba. Hapana anoti maswage acho akauya anokupa hapana. Ukawafona vanhu vechitungwiza vacho havauyi. So ndakafona zvatovasira ndikati fona musi weFriday zvikanzi vatova neSaturday havana kuuya. Vamwe vakauya pana akamboya akangoti jongo shoma zvino zvikanzi kwamundipe dringi.
Panapa panogara gogo nasekuru isusu tiri kutovhizita panapa. We are very worried nehealth yavo vanhu vanorwara. Fanike baba everyday vanomuka vachigeza apa vachikupa masuweji. Ndivanotoita basa irori rekugeza masuweji everyday.
Ndakarara usiku hwese ndiri mutoilet ndichingochaya. This is not my state. Ndichingochaya usiku hwese ndikaenda kubasa musi weThursday ndikaswera ndakarara kubasa. Kuti ndakatoita kunge Mulungu achandodzinga basa kuti kuswera wakarara sei.
Kanise tinogara tichitaura nayo. Uye dzimwe nguva vanouya vachigadzirisa asi vari kukurirwa nedambudziko racho nekuti iri kuramba ichingobuda kunyange vabva kunogadzira.
Muri kuona mugero uyu tisu vanhukadzi tiri kuchera ende ivo vekanzuro vachona havasi kana kutipa kana mvura. Hatina kana mvura izvo zvitanzwa nemudumbu. Chatirongokumbirawo ndechekuti vatigadzirirewo masuweji asaramba achibuda. Dzimba dzese laini rese rinori masuweji ega.
Vanhu vacho vekanzuro kuvashedza havauye vanongoetemera vada kana vakauya havagadziri zvino. Zvogosara zvidai mvura hatina taane 3 weeks now yokuti tikwanise kuti tigeze tsvina dzatenge takukurapa zvokuti takutosvika kuti taita korera.
Efforts to get a comment from Chitungwiza municipality were fruitless. Since Monday, Chitungwiza has recorded a total of 69 suspected cholera cases. The country has recorded a cumulative total of 12,870 suspected cholera cases, 219 suspected cholera deaths, while 148 people are still hospitalized since the outbreak of the disease in February this year. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
The Ahmadiyya Muslim community has joined the world in amplifying calls for peace and support for Palestinians in the Gaza Strip in the wake of Israel-Hamas war.
The Muslim Jamaat conference, which started on Friday, saw hundreds coming together in solidarity with Palestine, calling for peace and protection of women and children. Muslims from neighboring countries and other religious congregates also attended the conference.
Vanhu tinofana kubatana, ma-Muslim na Christians, tofana kubatana tiri chinhu chimwe chete, and watinobelieve mumwe chete ndiye Mwari ari kumusoro kudenga. Kungosiyana kwamadaidziro kuti vavanoti Allah isoti Mwari.
Religions can cause war, can cause differences, but here we are trying to say we are one. We serve the same God. We are trying to unify ourselves as religious leaders.
In response to the escalation of violence in Palestine and the alarming breach of international law, the missionary in charge of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, Tanzania, Teha Muhammad Chaudhry, emphasized the urgent need for immediate ceasefire to alleviate the suffering of innocent civilians.
War is not a solution of any type of problem. There should be dialogue, there should be understanding, there should be negotiations and all that. So nobody can recommend the war zone or such type of things. You know, daily we can witness children, innocent people, innocent children, the women, all that they are killed.
President of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community Imam Yusuf Anubi condemned the killing of women and children in the Gaza Strip.
What is happening in Palestine is very disturbing, because we are seeing that innocent children, women and elderly people are being killed each and every day. And we are saying that this is not right and it should stop.
As Israel continues its deadly bombardment of Gaza from north to south, reports say 201 people have been killed over the past day, with 368 being wounded. Reports say more than 20,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks since the 7th of October, while the death toll from Hamas attack on Israel stands at more than 1,000. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, the death of a veteran Afro-jazz singer Bob Nyabinde, popularly known as the Headmaster, has been described as a huge loss to the local music industry.
Nyabinde, who succumbed to diabetes on Saturday, has been described as having been a pillar of his family. His son, Aga, says his father was an inspiration, while his young brother, David, and niece, Teresa Kaio, described the late musician as a unifier.
Dara ndiwangari the pillar of the family. Munhu aitifundisa zvakawanda. Zvese zvatinoita tingatotadzidza kwavari. Toda kungotenda Mwari nenguva yaakatipa nayo. Nekuti takadzidza zvakawanda ende tinotarisira kuti zvichatibatsira kuti tive vanhu vari nani.
Ndiye munhu mukuru muSakwa-Nyabinde anga asara, so tarasikirwa zvikuru. Although akarwara hake, but tarasikirwa zvikuru because munhu anga asingasarudze, aitobata chero musha weKwa-Nyabinde, aitobata ona kuti anga yamurese kana paita dambudziko.
He was a very nice person. Taitaura nyaya dzakawanda, hapana chataimbovanzira. We used to share with him, and vanga vane nzeve kuti vaiteerera zvese zvaunongochitaura kwavari.
Some artists who worked with Nyabinde described him as a legend in music.
Semuimbi ndarasikirwa, semwana wekuti ndarasikirwa. Bob Nyabinde was a father figure to us. He was a legend, but he had time to tell us kuti music industry makata, it's not easy. So how to make it unofanga kuita wakadai, so keep your originality.
Mu music industry vaitidzidzisa uye vaitibatsira nekutigadzirira ma-instruments. Ndichikurangarira rimwe gore gitari rangu parakafa pandakaenda kwavari. Ndikati baba une gitari rangu rafa here, zvikanziunza kuno.
Nyabinde, who had been unwell for a while after being diagnosed with diabetes, died at 68. He was known for his chart-topping debut album, Paninyaya, released in 2002. The album established him as a prominent figure in Zimbabwean Afro-jazz music. It contains several hit songs, including Chabula Apana and Mumbeya Samanyika, which further cemented his popularity. He is survived by 2 sons, Albert and Aga, and 5 grandchildren. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
We now cross over to Montrose in Bulawayo, where Sibigele Maposa is on standby, and in light of the festive season, Christmas box Sibigele.
Thank you very much, Mandeepa. Merry Christmas to you. 'Tis the season. And for me, it is indeed the best time of the year. While most boys from well-to-do families dream of running successful businesses after their fathers, a 15-year-old boy from Gungubo in Buliba Matebeleland South Province is defying the odds after establishing a music band using homemade instruments.
As we were traveling to Bulilima, our sight being obscured by the heavy rains pounding the district, we were drawn by a sound of drums on the sideways of the Plum Tree Ndolwani Road. As we stopped to inquire, we came across a makeshift band, a group of small boys dancing to a rumba beat in the rains. What caught our attention was the nature of instruments they were using. Some makeshift containers and broken guitar borrowed from the legendary Mlambo's leader Samangwe and the age of the group. They're just a group of primary school going children with dreams. This is a dream of a village boy that needs support.
kahle kahle bese lesifiso sebhendi kahle kahle bese lesifiso sebhendi kahle kahle so yiko sichaya amagabha sivuthene labantwana labo ukuthi sizama ukuthi lathi siyavusela ukuliqembu nyana izifiso ngezebhendi ukuthi lathi siyangabe siyafikelela kulabo abaculi abakhulu lathi sicine sesichaya ibhendi sicine lathi sesingabaculi abahlabelela abadume indawo zonke indawo eziphezulu abahamba indawo eziphezulu.
Plumtree Ndolwane is not strange to rumba music. Besides being home to Ndolwane Super Sounds and Clement Magwaza, almost every villager is gifted with nimble feet.
VPA. Yafisa la mti. Gine kuna hapo nywele sasa la ela makatara.
Abacula mbazi mlambosi simzizwane. Cebisi. Ngizokuthi na akhula ngibe njengawo.
Agrippa and his peers have dreams, but dreams, as they say, are just flowers that may fail to bloom if they fail to get water. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Bulilima.
That is such a beautiful sight. And tenacity, amaphupho abo ma-afezeke. Well, in news from beyond our borders, vote counting is continuing in the Democratic Republic of Congo despite some glitches in the process.
Reports say the DRC election is facing challenges amid opposition calls for the vote to be annulled due to alleged fraud. 5 opposition candidates, including former provincial governor Moise Katumbi, says the vote should not stand, claiming it had been tainted by massive fraud. About 44 million people in the mineral-rich Central African nation were registered to vote in the elections to choose the country's president, members of the National Assembly, and local councillors. President Felix Tshisekedi, who has a sizable lead in preliminary results of voting by diaspora voters, is running for re-election for a second and final term in office. Western governments have called for restraints amid fears of a repeat of the violence that has followed disputed election results in the past. In a joint statement on Saturday, 12 European embassies and the Canadian embassy called for restraint.
Mozambican and Rwandan security forces have been making significant progress as they conduct a joint action to combat Islamic State-linked insurgents in the northern area of Mozambique. Reports say in Palma, a district of Cabo Delgado province in northern Mozambique, Rwandan security forces are on a regular patrol alongside their Mozambican counterparts. The Islamic State-linked insurgency, which has been raging since 2017, has claimed numerous lives and disrupted energy projects in the gas-rich Cabo Delgado. After the joint action of the two countries, the insurgency has been defeated and over 90% of territory that was once captured by the terrorists has been liberated.
The Gun Violence Archive shows that as of Saturday, there had been 645 mass shootings in the United States this year that each killed or injured at least 4 people in addition to the gunmen. Data from the GVA also revealed that around 42,000 people lost their lives in various gun incidents in 2023. Police in Florida's Ocala said a shooting occurred at a shopping center in the city on Saturday, killing 1 man and injuring several others. Police say the gunman fled the scene and is still at large with investigations underway.
We move on to our I'm an African feature where we profile Dr. Okonjo-Iweala. In a world where most senior positions, be it in business or in politics, are held by men, the increasing number of women breaking such barriers on the African continent is a cause for a celebration. And our I'm an African feature, we celebrate the career of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the first African and first woman at the helm of the World Trade Organization.
The world over, for ages, certain trades and positions continue to be dominated by men, raising concern on the patriarchal nature of society. In 2021, the appointment of Dr. Iweala to head the WTO as its Director General was a nod to the girl child and an indication that the world is embracing the capabilities of women and girls to lead key global institutions. Born in 1954 in the Delta region of Nigeria, Dr. Iweala studied in Nigeria as well as the United States of America. Among her educational qualifications is a PhD in Development Economics from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. With over 30 years of experience, the WTO Director General is not just an economist but also an international development expert. Before assuming her current role in 2021, Dr. Iweala served as Nigeria's Minister of Finance between 2003 and 2006, as well as in the period from 2011 to 2015. At some point, she chaired the board of Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance 2016 to 2020, the African Risk Capacity 2014 to 2020, and co-chaired the Global Commission on the Economy and Climate. She also assumed the roles of senior advisor at Lazard and sat on the boards of Standard Chartered PLC and Twitter Inclusive. Dr. Iweala was also appointed as an African Union COVID-19 Special Envoy. She is also known for her passion to end poverty in Africa. During her tenure at the World Bank, she led several initiatives to assist low-income countries. The World Trade Organization's major focus is to oversee trade among nations. When she overtook the reins, Dr. Iweala noted the need to ensure all members of the WTO benefit, with emphasis on small islands and small economies. In response to the media on how she feels to be the first black woman to assume the post, she highlighted that she feels the burden to perform, given that she was the first woman to be given this job. She was quick to point out that if she had to make Africa proud, she would have to produce results. She also indicated the need to reform the nature of dispute settlements within the trade organization, and this will be done through consultations with member countries to hear their challenges.
It's important for resilience, it's important for sustainable growth, and the WTO is right at the heart of this. I'm happy to say that at the WTO, where I am the Director General, we are working very hard on clean cook stoves, and things that will really make it easier for women and girls in developing countries to have a cleaner life, which also contributes to a cleaner climate for the world.
The WTO is mandated with assisting members on how to use trade to improve livelihoods of their populations. It also operates the global rules of trade and settles disputes when they arise. The WTO is also a center for economic research, with Zimbabwe being among the over 160 members of the global body.
And that's all from the Montrose News Desk. I am Sibugele Maposa, wishing you a wonderful Christmas. May love and light pervade your homes. But for now, we will take a break. And when we return, Mandipa and Leanne will take you through the rest of the bulletin. Merry Christmas.
Christmas is here. Buy bulk and save this Christmas at OK Mart. Get your 6 by 2 liter Barley House syrups for only $13. Sunlight dishwashing liquid 25 by 750 ml for only $79.50. Sunlight washing powder 9 by 2 kgs $41.50. 2 Keys whiskey 12 by 750 ml for only $64. Potatoes 10 kgs for only $7.20. Christmas is here. Kisimusi yashika. Ikisimusi isifikile. OK Mart, my happy place.
Umngani wami ungapi ngibuye wangikuze bawuri kokonduye sidantokerwa ndiri kuvumba kumakombo Zimbabwe tourism kunaka kana tafunga kufara magalisi tonange kariba kunosasana wafunga kubata fish tonange mazowete muikatakata ukazoda mukate sango tonanga kuwange ku national park kotaura feya konare show unoona tese nemtupo wako kuyenda ikokoroji moterene ndi mashungwa netara obudirako kuyenda kunyanga kuchinoi caps nepinga chakaurisha oyo umngani wami ungapi.
This message is brought to you by the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, Zimbo, Every journey leads you home. Uripi, ungapi.
If you drink, be responsible.
So it's payday, and you're wondering what to do with that little bit of extra cash. What will it be? Some takeaways just for you, or entertainment for the whole family? A few hours with the boys? Or over 720 hours of unbelievably amazing entertainment? Because with so many different package options to choose from, there's a lot more to enjoy for a lot less than you think. Because it's your moment with DSTV.
We're live back in the capital. Many thanks to Sibukile from our Montreux studio. Straight into our This and That feature, where although stakeholders in the traffic sector are encouraging motorists to adhere to rules and follow the dictates of road signs this festive season, the big question is, do people really know the meaning of the road signs?
Well, let's find out. In our This and That feature, our Matabeleland South Beru Chief, Providence Manaleli, explores some weird road signage in Bulilima district.
As we were driving along Plumtree in Dolani Road on the peripheries of Bulilima district, we were drawn to some strange road signage. As a driver, the general rule of thumb is that once you see a stop sign ahead, you have to stop and proceed when it's safe. But in this strange part of the world, signs bear a different message. Though fitted along the highway, a stop sign is interpreted as a bus stop, just like a toll gate and a speed limit signage. While we were still baffled, we came across another one indicating that there is road maintenance ahead, only to be told that it's a sign directing traffic to a certain homestead. These are just few of the many weird road signs picked by Zimbabweans working outside the country like South Africa and Botswana and brought home. Such signage for Boksburg, Senton and Parktown are common in Bulilima district. Whether it is out of ignorance or not, the signage has some purpose to the motorists.
Ay, yabona emakhaya sawuzabone nibhakase libhale Boksburg. Asazi kumbe babe bekhona uBoksburg kumbe njani. Qinisweni okunye okuningi nje okumthetho wokudrive hayi akulandela. But nje okunye kuyabe kungama reflect yabona umuntu nje yabe siyenza nje noma into yakhona njani wrong, but at least for uku reflect ngibona nimahambe ubusuku la kuyabe kukhanya straight. Ya kungaba ku for stop sign la usungafika kume kodwa.
Okay, ikungazi esingathi ngesikhiwa illiteracy. So umuntu lo yena akudobha lapha akudobha khona wasitshela ukuthi uyabona into enhle and ungathi uyambuza lo muntu wafaka la akakwazi. Yena uzitshela ukuthi lana isayini ukuthi ngemzini wami. But ku driving isayini ukuthi you have to stop.
To villagers, the signage is just normal and it serves its purpose.
Abantu bazenzela maybe le sign uyabona nje ujika lapha kufanele mhlambe ngabe uyabona angithi isayini uyazenzela la mhlambe la uma ungwangapha kufanele angithi uyabubonisa ukuthi maybe lo uqhamuka la uyabona kumele ujike la.
Umgwaqo ujikisa into yokutshengisela uma usemgwaqweni ukuthi umgwaqo le turn off uyathena kunjani uyacross uyama kanjani. Manje le angiboni ithoni ngoba ngithi uma usiyale.
With the festive season upon us, the signage may not help to prevent accidents, but one thing for sure, they will direct the travelers home. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Bulilima.
Let's now take a look at our Sunbiz. Zimbabwe is set to introduce a minerals commodity exchange next year to attract global capital and facilitate real value of returns to investors.
Plans are on course to establish the market with expectations that it will be operational by the third quarter of next year. Securities and Exchange Commission of Zimbabwe Chief Executive Officer Mr. Enimo Taruinga highlights the importance of setting up the minerals trading market.
We are definitely working with the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange together with the Ministry of Mines, the Ministry of Finance and the Minerals Marketing Corporation of Zimbabwe to establish a minerals commodity exchange through the VFX exchange. The main purpose of establishing that exchange, I think you are well aware that Zimbabwe as a country is well endowed with mineral resources. But we faced challenges in terms of getting proper prices for commodities, particularly minerals.
The planned introduction of the market is also expected to ensure Zimbabwe attracts more investors in the capital-intensive but viable resource extraction sector.
The purpose of the exchange is to ensure that our miners get fair value for their sweat. So the exchange will help in terms of price discovery and ensuring that there's transparency on pricing of the commodity.
The mining sector has been identified by government as a key pillar of the economy in terms of foreign currency generation and employment creation. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
We are streaming live on our Facebook page, ZBC News Online. A special mention to those who are taking time to wish us a Merry Christmas on our Facebook page, ZBC News Online. We are also on X, ZBC News Online. We're off to a break. Join us shortly for Sports Buzz.
Is not to simply exist, but to move ahead, to rise up and achieve, to conquer. Introducing Kung Fu Energy Drink, your push for the next conquests. Kung Fu Energy Drink, master the power.
Christmas is here in all Bon Marché stores. Get your Colgate Herbal Toothpaste 100 ml for only $1.40. 2 kg Omo Regular Washing Powder for only $5.40. 750 ml KWV Classic Chenin Blanc, Chardonnay, Shiraz Rosé, Sauvignon Blanc for only $9. 1.5 kgs of Crips Red Economy Apples for only $4.60. Christmas is here. Bon Marché. Simply good.
Fast, efficient, and low-cost broadband for all. Are you a banking institution, NGO, school, university, or college? You may be a farmer, lawyer, teacher, or student. Whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you are, whatever your internet needs. Connect smarter every time with Tel1 Broadband. Connect with Tel1 Broadband for fast, efficient, reliable, and affordable internet services. To find out more about Tel1 Broadband, visit our website at www.tel1.co.zw.
If you drink, be responsible.
Welcome back. And now in sports bars, two-time world champion Shihan Samson Muripo capped off his illustrious career with one final journey to Japan for the second Sokyokushin World Karate Championships.
His dream was to take 14 karatekas to Japan for the second Sokyokushin World Championships. Among them, 8 youngsters who would compete at the grand stage for the first time. That dream could not be achieved due to financial challenges as prospective sponsors pulled out at the last minute, leaving only 3 senior karatekas to showcase their talents in Shizuoka City. Muripo, together with Sensei Liko Kumalo and George Mutambu, waved the Zimbabwean flag at the grand stage of war. She and Muripo, a 2-time world champion, hoped to achieve the ultimate feat of becoming a 3-time world champion, but alas, that failed after his contest was stopped in the second round. However, he is not coming home empty-handed as he is now Roku downgraded. Shihan Samson Muripo is now the highest ranked full contact karateka after upgrading to the 6th Dan black belt at the just ended Sokyokushin World Karate Championship in Shizuoka, Japan. Muripo walks away from active competition as the only 2-time world champion coming from Africa. Sensei Liko Kumala and George Mutambi also upgraded to 5th Dan black belt, and now Shihan as Zimbabwe continues to have a masters of karate. Lawrence Trusuda, ZBC News, Shizuoka.
Bulawayo Giants Highlanders are set to assemble the new-look technical team to assist the newly appointed head coach Calvin Kayendu ahead of the 2024 Kasalaga Premier Soccer League season.
In a statement released this Saturday, the Bulawayo Giants said they are in the process assembling a formidable technical bench to build a competitive team capable of battling for honors next season. Boso recently appointed Zambian expatriate Calvin Kayendu as head coach after the team parted ways with the Portuguese gaffer Boatema Brito earlier this month. Despite going for 19 league matches without tasting defeat, the highly expected mission of returning to glory fell through as Highlanders began to slump. Highlanders finished the season on 5th position with 55 points, with the league being clinched by Ngozi Platinum Stars for the first time. Kayendu played for Highlanders in 1997 before being entrusted with the club dugout between 2012 and 2014. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
In heartfelt condolences, the football fraternity has described former Dynamos player and coach David George, who died this Saturday, as a great football legend.
Born in 1952, David George began his football career at Nympha Rovers and Mutanga Rovers before signing for Dynamos in 1975. In his second year at Dimbari, George was part of the Glamour Boys who won 5 cup tournaments including the league title, Nyore Nyore Charity Shield, BAT Rose Bowl, Castle Cup and Southern African Champions of Champions. He was renowned for his dribbling prowess, causing quite some trouble for most defenders, which earned him the nickname Broom Boy. George played alongside Sandish Zambwa, Laban Kandi, George Mastermind Shire, Kudamu Chemei, David Mandigora and Edward Kacheri, among others. Broomboy played for Dynamos for 10 years before an injury-inspired retirement. He later ventured into coaching and was assistant coach to former teammate Sandish Zambwa in 1998 at Dynamos, with the club reaching the finals of the CAF Champions League that same year, losing to ASEC Mimosa of Cote d'Ivoire. In 2007, he found himself deputizing the late David Mandigora, who was Dynamo's head coach. 3 years later, he joined the now-defunct Motor Action as an assistant coach to Joey Antipas and won the league title. The football family converged at his home to pay their condolences this Sunday, with colleagues describing him as a great player and coach who was humble on and off the field.
It's a very sad loss to the football fraternity. He was a very good player during his playing days and also a very good coach. I worked with him at Dynamos. In fact, first of all, I played with him at Dynamos for more than 6 years. And then we worked together as coaches for a good 5 years.
I'm so devastated about the passing on of David George. Somebody who has been a brother, a friend, literally a family man, because we have known each other for the past 52 years.
We stayed with George for close to 12 years. Motor Action only existed for 14 years.
And 12 of those years, we were with Bloody. We used to call him Bloody, being shortcut for his name, David.
To those he coached, he was a father figure who shaped careers of young footballers.
He always told us good things, and even at training, even game situation, he was the best.
Bloody was a father figure. I think I still remember when I started playing football. It's very young. He took us through what it meant to play for Dynamos One, and also about life in general.
David George died at the age of 71 at his home in Glenora this Saturday after battling a long illness. Mourners are gathered at Block 7506 Glenora B in Harare. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
What a loss indeed it is there. We're off to a break. We return with Showbiz after this.
It's easy when you do it like this.
So fresh when you do it like that.
More fun when you do it like this. But even better when you use Aloha.
It's clean when you do it like this.
Looks good when you do it like that.
So much fun when you do it like this.
But even better when you use Aloha.
Make it fresh and fun with Aloha range of products.
Life is a precious gift, more precious than silver and gold. Parties and alcohol, with road traffic accidents happening every 15 minutes and at least one person dying every 4 hours in Zimbabwe every day. More die over weekends and public holidays. Take heed. Remember your loved ones. Don't drink and drive this festive season. This message is brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe.
The season of happiness is upon us at OK Stores. Get your Monty's baked beans 410 grams for only 90 cents. Pro Brands powdered milk 400 grams for only $3.25. Colgate dental cream 100 mils for 85 cents. Surf washing powder 2 kgs for only $4.10. 1 kg pocket of local carrots for only $2.50. Christmas is here. Kisimusi yashika. Ikisimusi isifikile. OK, my happy place.
Thank you for staying with us. Now in our showbiz, Makadzi and Alec Macheso's Shampopo proved to be the most popular song on the Power FM chat show this week.
The third place last week, Makadzi and Macheso's Shampopo topped the chart show, taking the first position from the HKD boss Man to Man, which was in second position.
Mr. President, yeah.
The biggest climber for this week, moving 10 places up the ladder, was Ulele by Heavy K, featuring Same Thing Soweto, Professor and Taxin. The biggest dropper, going down 9 places, was Bolts JT's Handidi Sori. Gemma Griffiths Ndichatarisa, Morevi featuring Davido's Magician, Mutaka by Freeman and Felinandi, as well as Tiza by Enzo Aisha, were this week's non-movers. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
Music lovers were treated to entertainment galore this week with a number of festive season shows being lined up in Harare.
Revelers in Harare at the time of their lives at the prestige Christmas affair held in Harare Thursday night, where South Africa's Afro-pop outfit Mafikizolo provided entertainment. At the same show, Felinandi and XQ also gave polished acts. Gospel music lovers were not left out as Minister Michael Mahendere proved his mettle at his Tanga Inene Outcry Experience show. At the wedding of the season, Felinandi and Jonah Chivasa mesmerized guests with refined performances. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
It was a beautiful weekend indeed. Well, that's a wrap here on the Sunday edition. For myself, Liam Bernard, Susan Mason on the sign language. We also had Sivukile from our Montrose and, of course, Mandipa. However, it has been a sad December for the music industry after the death of Terry G, gospel musician Eric Moyo. And this Saturday, Zimbabwe again was plunged into mourning following the death of Afro jazz icon Bob Nyabinde.
We remember Bob with his song Chabuda Apana. May his soul rest in peace.
Indeed. Good night.